me, in our last class, what we have discussed in time sharing system, what features or something which we have discussed in the last class.
Ma'am, you have discussed
Ma'am,
in
Wait,
time sharing.
Wait, roll number 43, please wait. Let roll number 9 give the answer, then you will be given a chance. Okay, 43. Roll number 9, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, what is time sharing operating system and active state, ready state, waiting state? This is.
Can you tell me advantages and disadvantages of time sharing operating system? What are the advantages of time sharing operating system and what are the disadvantages of time sharing operating system? Shreya, I can't listen you. Please tell me. I'm waiting for an answer. Roll number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you wanted to say something. Please tell me.
Ma'am, advantage of time sharing is, ma'am, time sharing is multi-programming.
আবার আমাকে ঘুরে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছে
Who is talking?
বললো তোমার মা কালকে এলে বাজার করতে পারবে না, নিয়ে যাও, মা বুঝতে পারবে।
Who is talking?
সব নিয়ে গেছিলাম, আবার আমাকে সন্ধ্যা সময় সব
Ishta, there I am removing
চপ
you
পাঠিয়ে
from
দিয়েছে, আটা মাখা পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছে।
If anyone is not willing to attend the class, please don't do so. You are here to study. Yes, Vivek. Yes, roll number 43. Please go ahead. You are saying
Ma'am,
something.
time sharing is multi-programming.
Yes.
And ma'am, time sharing allows the system multiple user and share computer simultaneously.
Yes. Any disadvantages of time sharing operating system? Any disadvantage? Anyone?
Sorry, ma'am.
Any disadvantages of time sharing operating system?
Ma'am.
Not getting answer from anyone. Chayan, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, the big disadvantage. Yes, ma'am.
Can you please switch on your video so that all can see your face?
Ma'am, sorry, but my mic is completely broke. Sorry, ma'am. My front camera is completely bad.
Send me the screenshot. I will request every one of you, when all of you give me the answer, it is required that all of you should switch on the video. I am also switching on the video. So I'm expecting everyone to switch on the video.
मैम আমার সামনে ক্যামেরাটা ম্যাম কমপ্লিটলি ভাঙা, এর জন্য ম্যাম শুনছন তো ম্যাম করলেও এটা ম্যাম বেকার হবে।
ঠিক আছে, একটা স্মার্টফোন কিনে নিও। I will suggest you buy a such smartphone, a cheapest smartphone which will give you a Zoom connection as well as the camera will be of 6,000. Will be 6,000 rupees, not much. Or what you can do, you can join from your mother's mobile. I think your mother remains at home, so you can take her mobile and join. Yes, Chayan, tell me.
Ma'am, the big disadvantage of time sharing system is that it consumes resources, so it needs special operating system. Switching between tasks becomes sometimes complicated as there are lots of users and applications are running, which may hang up the system.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. Now, I will start with another topic. We will look at the definition of process. Let me share my screen first. Wait. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. We will learn about process. The definition of process. Process is basically a programming execution. Whenever a program starts executing, it is referred to as process. The execution of process must progress in sequential manner. That means the process executes in sequence. A process is defined as an entity. It can be defined as, let me write something so that else the key points should be written. So we can say that program, wait. Program in execution. Yeah. That is called process. Also, another alternative definition is it is defined as an entity which represents the basic unit of work to be implemented in the system. So we can put it as, we can write our computer programs in a text file, and when we execute the program, it becomes a process which perform all the tasks mentioned in the program. And when a program is loaded into memory, it becomes a process. So basically, program process can be divided into 4 sections. What are the 4 sections? These 4 sections are stack, then heap, then text, and then data. These are the 4 different parts. Now let us learn all the parts one by one. Let us look at the definition of stack. The process. Wait. The process stack contains the temporary data such as method, function parameters, return address, and local variables. There are two types of variables. I think all of you are aware, local and global variables. So the process stack contains temporary data which are generated as a process or as a part of execution of certain process. Whenever you are calculating, suppose you are writing a program in C and you are generating the factorial of a number. So for generating the factorial, you are writing some code. In between, there are certain calculations. So they are called temporary data. This is about stack. Now, let us look about heap. What is heap? Does anyone of you have any idea? If anyone want to say
Ma'am?
it, yes.
Ma'am, free data.
Free data,
space. Space.
free space.
Yes, ma'am.
Free space is heap. No. Look, this is dynamically allocated memory to a process during its runtime. This is the definition of heap. It is a dynamically allocated memory to a process during its runtime. During dynamic memory allocation, there are mainly two types of memory allocation. One is static, another is dynamic. In static memory allocation, the variables are defined before the program executes. For example, you can write integer variable, you can declare variable A as integer variable, you can declare variable B as float variable. But and also as soon as you're defining the variable as integer, a certain space is allocated. But in case of heap, whenever there is a requirement of any variable, it is created and allocated memory. And as soon as the work of that variable is completed, completed means maybe the program executes successfully and it is terminated, or it was some temporary variable and is no more required. As soon as the variable's job is completed, deallocation of memory occurs. So this is the advantage of dynamic memory allocation, that whenever the user needs a variable, it is allocated, and as soon as its job is finished, the memory becomes free. Now, let me explain third one, that is text. Text includes the current activity represented by the value of program, represented by value of the program counter and the contents of the processor's registers. I think all of you know about register. It is a memory, or it is a space where memory allocation occurs. It is a space where we can store variables. It is one of the fastest accessing, it has one of the fastest accessing speed. So the next one is the next type of we have said that there are 4 parts. So the next one is data. What is the data? Let me write and you will see. This section contains the global and static variable. All of you have learned C programming in last semester. Can you tell me the difference between local and static variable? Can you tell me the difference? What is global variable? How is it different? How is it different from local variable? Can you tell me the difference between these two? Here we can define global variable as a variable whose value remains throughout the scope of the program. That means you can access this variable from outside the program also. So this is the scope of global variable. So this is all about process. Can anyone tell me the definition of program? What is a program? Can anyone tell me? All of you have written several programs in C or in different language. Program. Can anyone tell me what is the definition? I'm waiting for the answer. Okay. Program is
Ma'am, a set of instruction.
a very basic definition. After completing one semester, you should not give such a basic definition, isn't it? We can write that there's a piece of code which may be a single line. It may be a single line or millions of lines. We can say that it is just a piece of code. It is usually written by a computer programmer in any programming language. And a computer programmer is a collection of instructions that performs a specific task when executed by a computer. When we compare a program with process, we conclude that when we compare a program and a process, what is the conclusion that we draw? That process is a dynamic instance of a computer program. Okay, it is a dynamic instance. Dynamic instance means what one of the students has already said, that it is when it is executing. During the time of execution, it is called a process. When a program is executing, at that time it is called a process. Now we will learn about process life cycle. Wait. Someone is again unmuted himself or herself. Shoikot Dash, roll number 11. Don't keep on unmuting yourself after a span of time. This is process life cycle. So here we should remember that there is a life cycle that is followed by a process. Whenever a process executes, it passes through different stages. These stages may differ in different operating systems, and the name of these states are also not standardized. Maybe somewhere it is referred to as start or beginning. So the names can vary, the states can vary, but more or less a process can have one of the following 5 states. What are the following 5 states? First one is start. Start. What is start? It can be referred as when a process is first started or created. And the second one is ready. This is another process state when the process is waiting to be assigned to a processor. Ready processors are waiting to have the processor allocated to them by the operating system so that they can run. Process may come into this state after the start state. That means whenever a process starts execution, the first step is start. Then after the start state, the ready state occurs. So the process may come into this state after start state or while running it, but interrupted by the scheduler to assign CPU to some other process. When we will study about different scheduling algorithms, we will find out that some scheduling algorithms allocate small time slice between different processes, and there is swapping in and swapping out of the process. So suppose one process start executing and after a certain time slice it is swapped out. At that time, we can say that the process is in ready state and it is waiting for its time slice for execution. So what we can say that this state comes after start state. Okay, this is one of the conditions. Or when it is interrupted by the scheduler. When it will be interrupted by the scheduler, depending on the scheduling algorithm chosen and the time slice allocated, it will be interrupted by the scheduler and swapped out. Now, the third state is running. Once the process has been assigned to a processor by the operating system scheduler, the process state is set to running and the processor executes its instruction. That means as soon as one process has been assigned a processor, the processor is running. So here under running state, we can write that process is executing. So at the time of execution, we can say that the process is running. Now, the last one is, not the last one, fourth one is waiting. What is waiting? Can anyone tell me? In yesterday's class, I have already explained this state, waiting. Can anyone tell me about waiting state? Who will tell? Let me take the names. Shubhangi Sheth, roll number 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you please tell me about waiting state? Yeah, bye.
CPU তে প্রসেস হওয়ার সময় ওই
Shubhangi, please, I'm
minute.
requesting you to please speak in English. Please try to speak in English. Since it is a official class, so you need to speak in English. Don't worry if you are incorrect, because you are speaking it in front of your friends, so you can be wrong also. Yes, Shubhangi, explain. Roll number 8. Yes, please explain.
when the CPU is processed, the time is required 3 millimeter.
I couldn't understand what you want to say. Can you please repeat again? 3 millimeter is what? Shubhangi Sheth, roll number 8.
Yes, ma'am.
What you wanted to say? Can you please explain what is 3 millimeter?
Ma'am, 3 million, but 3 seconds.
What is 3 seconds? I am asking you the definition. Please don't give me the example. What is the definition of waiting state? I asked. How you will be able to define waiting state? What is the basic definition? Not getting answer. Why are you
Ma'am,
quickly?
এটা পারছি না।
Archana, you have not studied. After the last class, I have
এটা
given
পড়া হয়।
even. Fine, you are not studying. It is very, today I will mark you as absent since you have not studied. Who else will tell? Sachin Kumar. Roll number 13.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please explain what is waiting state.
Waiting state is processing.
Waiting state processing. I couldn't understand what you want to say. You have also not studied. Roll 27, Neha Gupta.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain waiting state?
If one program is executed, then other program is waiting.
Yes, very good. When one of the program is executing, when there are time slice that is allocated between different process, then one program is executing and at that time, the other program is waiting. Very good. So that is the definition of waiting state. Okay. You can say that process is waiting for CPU. Then we can say that the process is in waiting state. Now wait for some time. Let me take the attendance first. Time is less. If we got disconnected, those who will not give their attendance, I'm requesting them to rejoin. Your section A or section B?
Section
A,
A.
ma'am.
Section In. Okay. Let me share the attendance sheet so that all can see, check their attendance. Today is 20th. Roll number 1, 2, 3,
Present, ma'am.
5.
Ma'am, 4 present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
And why are you not saying? Don't stay silent. 6, 7, 8,
Present, ma'am.
9,
Yes, ma'am.
10, 11, 12,
Yes, ma'am.
13, sorry, 12,
Yes, ma'am.
13,
Ma'am,
15,
11.
11 present. Okay. Please
Yes, ma'am.
tell in time, else the time is wasted.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
13
9
is, no, I can't give you. You have not tell at the right time. 13.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't disturb in between. 14,
Yes.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
Yes,
roll
ma'am.
number is
18.
present? 18 is present.
Ma'am, 17.
17 also present. Okay.
Ma'am,
19.
19 present.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
Yes, ma'am.
26,
Ma'am, 25 present. Ma'am, 25 present.
26,
Ma'am, present.
27,
Present, ma'am.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36,
Present, ma'am.
36 present. Okay. 37,
Yes, ma'am.
38,
Yes, ma'am.
39,
Yes, ma'am.
40, 41, 42, 43,
Yes, ma'am.
44,
Ma'am.
44 present, sorry, 45, 46,
Present, ma'am.
47, 48, 49,
Yes, ma'am.
50, 51,
Yes, ma'am.
52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the class. Is there anyone who missed the attendance? Okay, so everyone has given attendance. Today, all of you will learn, after the class is over, all of you will learn what are the different states of processes and what is the difference between program and process. In my next class, I will ask you the difference between program and process. Okay. So I'm ending the class. Is there anything anyone want to ask? Any confusion? No
Ma'am,
confusion.
please send the documents.
Yes, yes, definitely. I will send. Yesterday's document you received? Yesterday.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I will send that document. Okay, thanks for the reminder. Okay, I'm ending the class.